Hey, good morning. Entre Money Coach here, Don Kennedy. I just wanted to hop on here for just a couple of minutes and tell you a little bit about why it is I do what I do, and then also how I want to start changing the conversation that we all have around our business income. The first thing I wanted to tell you is a little bit about why I do what I do. So first off, I am a consumer law attorney and I'm a personal financial coach. So what I do is I work with families to help them get out of debt, to get a plan, and to start to get their money working for them so that they can enjoy the life that they love financially without all the stress. Well, most of those clients, and we're purposed to work with people, right, that we get, most of those clients, they had businesses. They had either a side hustle that did give them a chunk of their income every month, or they had a primary business that was the income for the family. In a lot of cases, by not having their business finances organized in such a way that they knew what they needed to make, they had a very hard time making it so that they could pull money every month and protect their own families. So in a lot of ways, I ended up going in and shoring up the business finances and helping them make those decisions so that they could continue to protect their family's income and make the budget and get out of the debt and continue down that road. So that's how I ended up being the Entre Money Coach. Now, why do I want to change the conversation about money? My husband Mike and I, we had a consulting business named Unique Consulting, LLC, out of Columbus, Georgia. And we had such a great time doing what we did. We absolutely loved what we did. Every single day we woke up and we couldn't wait to go to work. We ended up making six figures very, very quickly. And we had taken all of the courses around, entrepreneurship and startup business expenses. And we knew how to make profit and loss statements. And we knew how to do, the measurement metrics to see how your business is performing. But what we didn't do was control our income every month. And that became a problem when people were late paying invoices, for example, or we had a large bill come due, an annual expense, for example, that, we had to pay all out of 1 month because we didn't plan for it properly. So what I want to change about this is the protection first of the business before we start reinvesting back into the business or making plans for growth or taking larger chunks of income to pay off maybe your personal debts or some other goals that you have. Why do I want to make protection such a priority? So I told you, Mike and I we were making six figures. We were doing great. Now, I can't tell you where any of that money ran off and spent itself. And that's, to me, I look back now and I'm like, I can't believe that that's what it was, but that's exactly what it was. So Mike and I were 2.5 years into business, and he was working at one of our test sites, and he fell 18 feet off a ladder onto concrete and ended up with 4 skull fractures and a 3-year journey through rehabilitation to manage his traumatic brain injury and to be able to walk again. And he still has some residual things that are structural. He lost his hearing, for example. And so he's had to do that. It took 3 years for him to get to, where he has been, and then he continues to work after that now, today. Well, at the moment that he fell, within 3 seconds, our consulting business was done. That is because we were not going to be able to execute the contracts, for example, that we had signed for the next year. And luckily, they were very kind to us and they just canceled the contracts. We didn't have any legal issues. They also, didn't have a lot of invoices out there still left to pay. We had a couple, but once those were paid, that was it. We were done. And we had business debt. And we didn't have great organization of how we were managing our business income. We ended up with a lot of debt because when people paid late on our invoices, we would turn to the credit cards to make those payments. And then when the invoices came in, we would take the money and pay off the credit cards, but it caused cash flow crunches here and there. And so these are some of the things that have kind of spurred me on to changing the conversation about you should invest 100% of your profit every month for a long time, until you get to X amount, to, hey, let's first protect your ability to make income and then invest the rest. So that is pretty much what I am here to do. I'm going to try to change this conversation. I want you to have a spending plan every month. I want you to know your breakthrough, your B number, that minimum that you need before you bust into profit. And, you know, I'm going to be jumping on here and offering tips and tricks and resources to try to make that happen. So thanks for hanging in and listening to me. And I hope you have a great, great week. Bye.